Been very popular, over 9,600 orders. These are the size of my head. Just want to tell you, these are huge. And how gorgeous is this honeymoon hibiscus? It's a 2-in-1 live plant. $24.98 is your price today, $8 and change. Gets it home on Easy Pay. It's shipped as a 2-in-1 actively growing plant in red and white. So I love that you don't have to pick here. You get both varieties of colors. M95088. This is giving me all the tropical feels, Derek.
Yes.
Beautiful.
Typically, to see a hibiscus, you got to go to Mexico. You got to, do the Cancun trip. You got to go to Hawaii. But now you can have an exotic flower, an oasis in your garden anywhere in the country, because these are winter hardy. So a winter hardy hibiscus sounds like an oxymoron, but it is true. These are tough as nails with winter. They can withstand -20 below zero. Pretty much the whole country can grow these and have them come back year after year. And what I love about this is that these flowers are not small, like you mentioned. They are as big as your head. Yeah. They are impressive. They are a bullseye in the garden for all the insects and humans because they're so just beautiful and make a real impact as a centerpiece. But what we've got here, if you're familiar with growing hibiscus in the garden or you've ever seen a hibiscus, typically they come in the form of trees and they're pretty tall.
Yeah.
So just like the crepe myrtle my brother had, these are dwarf. We love this. The honeymoon hibiscus is aptly named because for the gardener, it's like a sweet honeymoon. Finally, with growing hibiscus. These only get 2 to 3 feet tall and 2 to 3 feet wide. They stay manageable. You never have to cut them back. And they are chock full of flowers, which are huge. Now, we've included 2 colors in one container, okay? We did that because we want you to have that manicured garden look. 1 color is great, 2 looks awesome. They juxtapose, they, make both look better. And this is not what you're getting. You are getting a huge half-gallon container. This is woody stems. They are over a year old already. I want to show you some, but lastly, there's already a bunch of flower buds on here ready to go right out of the box, okay? So these start to bloom in the middle of summer.
Okay.
And they don't stop until the second frost, easily.
Wow.
We're familiar with hibiscus. This is the typical size you're gonna see if you take a trip to the tropics. But just look at the difference in size that you have with these winter hardy honeymoon hibiscus. The flowers are 4 times bigger than what you're gonna get paying on a trip.
Yeah, that's unbelievable.
And I just, to follow up with that size, I remember as a kid, so our Uncle Eric, you know him, he has a pool in his backyard and I'm really close to my cousins. And so I would spend summer nights there and we'd be out in the pool all day. And I can't tell you how many times swimming in the pool and I would look around and he would have these in containers dotted around the pool. So as a kid, it's like a fantasy because they're so big. You kind of get mesmerized by them. And now, even as an adult, I mean, it's hard to wrap your head around, Melissa, the sheer size of the flowers.
Yeah.
As a kid, it's like, oh wow, everything is cool. But as an adult, this is really cool. Very few flowers get this big. And then I love how the centers are all kind of this cherry red or lipstick red, and that is just a bullseye for the pollinators. So you'll see hummingbirds go up and feast on these, or the butterflies and the bees. Well, it's truly really fun.
You make a good point about creating an oasis.
Yes.
Yep.
Either your pool or your deck or your barbecue pit.
Absolutely.
Wherever you hang out, you can put these in containers. You can put them in the ground. My dad has had these in the ground for quite a few years in Indiana. He doesn't do a dang thing for them. What's fun is that they grow bigger and better every single year. Doing a row like this looks awesome. Putting them in containers looks awesome.
Yeah.
Any way that you do it, though, you don't have to worry about it because these are going to handle the high heat of the summer because they are exotic after all. They can handle drought, but they can handle the cold as well. There's some pollinators that love to feed on these.
I can't believe the size of these. Truly, they are so just visually stunning. And I enjoy the fact that you don't have to pick your color, that you really gave us the red and the white, so they work so beautifully together. This is a showstopper. Truly a showstopper for $24.98. If you use Easy Pay, it's $8.33. This is definitely a moment in the show, at least for me, where I say use Bill to Ship to. Gift this to someone. Get more than one. Help them set their garden up to look beautiful. I love what you said about the oasis, because it gives that like tropical feel. So wherever you spend the time, maybe you have like an outdoor office kind of nook in your backyard. Really gorgeous, and I love that it comes to you in that really big, I mean, that's a gallon?
A half-gallon container.
Half-gallon.
And just look at how, I mean, for the price, this is a great value.
Yeah.
I mean, this is a healthy, now my wife and I were thinking about taking a trip to Bahamas or Mexico this summer.
Oh, yeah.
It's outrageous to travel. I mean, we may not do it, I don't know yet, but when you can grow these in your backyard anywhere in the country, who needs an expensive trip? You know, burn half your bank account on 5 days or 7 days or whatever, when you can grow these. And that's what I love. I have these dotted throughout my yard. I have a lot of space. I have a couple of acres. They're awesome. But again, you know, hibiscus, typically not winter hardy. These are winter hardy. Hibiscus typically are huge. These only get 2 to 3 foot. So that's very manageable.
Yeah.
You can line a walkway. You can, you know, bookend your door entrance. They like full sun. They like some water to get started. But by the second year, I mean, you're going to be, you are hands off. That's what I want to say. And what we have on the set, this is second year growth right here. You know, you're going to start out here, and this is probably going to triple or quadruple in size the first year. But then, you know, the next year, this is really what you get. And there you go. That's just the white with that red bullseye. But remember, you are getting with this collection the white and the red together. There's no choice.
Love
You're going to
that.
get both blooms, and that's the look. You know, again, red by itself, kind of boring. White by itself, kind of boring.
Yeah.
Together, it's like, oh, this is awesome.
Yeah,
you know?
it's gorgeous. You know, we've sold over 250 just in the last few moments. Yeah, these are going very quickly. So I urge you that if you're interested, if you could see this in your backyard, like Derek said, creating that beautiful oasis and that space, make sure you put more than one in your cart and check out before they're gone. You don't have to pick a color. You get white and red together. It's a 2-in-1 live plant, $24.98. $8 and change gets it home on Easy Pay. The number to call, 800-500-7590. I love that you said they're low maintenance, because when you look at something like that, you go, oh my gosh, what do I have to do to keep it looking so beautiful? And so you're like, okay, you plant it and then that's it. Let Mother Nature do her thing.
And look at this picture. You get a new flower practically every single day, because the way that these grow is they push out a ton of buds, and then one opens and then another one, and then one closes, but then a new one opens. And so the way that these work is this year, you know, right out of the box, you're going to have flower buds, and you're going to get flowers this year. Once winter comes, you know, they are going to go asleep. They go in dormancy, but they're not dead. Next spring, they are going to come up later than your spring flowers, and they're going to be ready to bloom for you probably in beginning of July.
Okay.
And so they start a little bit later than some of your other summer flowers, but that's a good thing, because they're going to carry your garden through to the first and second frost, whereas a lot of stuff is already done by August. So these, that's what I really love, is like their shining glory is that they keep your garden looking good way longer than most things will. It's one of the last standing bloomers, so to speak, in the garden. And when you have you know, that's not a big container. What's great about this is that you can pick it up and move it around. If you want to have it in the back deck, near the pool, up in the front door, it doesn't matter. You can mix and match. The cool thing about these flowers too is they are very, in one sense, delicate. They're very like thin and crepe paper-like, but on the other hand, they're very robust, and those flowers stay big and open even in the hot summer sun.
Wow.
And that's what's so cool. And they are about 12 inches across.
Yeah, I mean, that's big. That's like a dinner plate. That's the size of that. So, I mean, those are massive flowers. I think this is so gorgeous, and our friends at home agree. Over 250 orders have been placed in just this show. You don't have to choose. You get the red and the white. I think they're just stunning together. I love how the colors just complement one another. Actually, 350 orders.
Wow, yeah.
So these are going very quickly. You guys are loving them. People are picking up more than one. $8.33 gets it home on Easy Pay, M95088, and it's shipped in this half-gallon container,
Yes.
right? And it's just actively growing. I love that you can already see the buds. You can see it. You could see it already kind of in motion.
Yeah,
So which means when you plant
definitely.
this, you are going to start seeing flowers like in the first year.
Oh, completely.
That's great.
There's no waiting. We've already been growing these for over 1 year. I mean, these are hard woody stems. I don't know if you can see that. That's like thicker than the size of a pencil. That takes a long time to grow to that size. So when you get these home, they are ready to grow for you. Put them in the ground, put them in containers. It doesn't matter either way. Create that oasis look in your backyard.
Well, I heard oasis and that was my cue because, so my wife is from Colombia and she was like, Devin, we need to have some plants that remind me of home. What about hibiscus? Well, those Colombian hibiscus that are down there, you can't grow in Westchester, Pennsylvania, but this one you can. And so we have a little section of our garden dedicated to Colombian style plants, tropical style plants, and this is one of her favorite ones just because it's like a new flower almost every day. There's just nonstop action of beautiful large blooms all summer long.
I love that.
Great. Thanks,
I love
Devin.
the stories. I love you guys pop in with these stories. They're so great and they're very impactful, and they're inspiring actually. So if you've been watching this presentation and you've been kind of unsure, this is definitely something you need to pick up in the show. Pick up more than one. They really are just massive flowers. Over, how many did you say? Over 9,800 orders, approaching 2/3 of our quantity gone for the year. And when we're gone, we don't see them again in the season, right? Because we're coming up to spring. So
Yep.
these are going very quickly. If you're thinking about it, don't think anymore. Just put a few in your cart, check out M95088. These, I love that they're easy. You don't have to think. And that you said there's a flower that's blooming like every day.
Yeah, and this is a real photo. Now here they're just getting started, but before you saw practically no foliage. So, you know, if you could zoom in on that though, you would see there's tons of buds ready to open. So that's how these work.
Yeah.
You know, they start to open up a few, and then by their mid-blooming period, you don't even see the leaves. Something that's really cool about these two is I love hibiscus in the garden. I see a lot of people, they go to the stores, they buy a hibiscus, but they don't realize it's tropical. They also don't realize that that's not going to survive the wintertime. So it looks good for that year. You can't bring them inside in the wintertime. Those tropical ones are not going to make it. This is all that you need in the garden. It's easy, it's exotic, it's winter hardy, and it's dwarf. So it's very manageable. You know, it's hard to take care of plants that are taller than you,
Yeah.
make them look nice. This has been bred to have a perfect form without any effort. You're never gonna have to come and cut these back or do anything. Finally, they do self-seed, which is fun because you're gonna see babies popping up every year and you're gonna get more and more plants for free.
What?
Yep.
Okay. That's like, I'm in. That's amazing. I love that it's easy and it's absolutely beautiful. So like we said, if you want to create that tropical oasis in your backyard, in your garden, this is the way to do it. 500 orders in our show alone. We are down to less than half of our quantities, and they're not coming back this season. Over 10,000 orders since we made this available. M95088, $24.98 gets one piece home, and you get white and red blooms there. All right, guys, well,